Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm here with a fun project I created to kickstart the fun DieCember month by Simon System. This is a month-long celebration of beautiful exclusive dies by Simon along with many other products. Throughout this month, there will be so many amazing surprises, sales, and lots of fun inspiration by amazingly talented designers focusing mainly on die cutting. Now, throughout this month, I will be focusing more on die cutting. So here I have my first card for this month, which is using this absolutely gorgeous Festive Snowman, which is a wonderful die set from the DieCember release by Simon Says. Before we take a look at the products, I would really appreciate if you could take a minute to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here's the Festive Snowman die set. Now, this measures approximately 3 by 1.5 inches, which is absolutely perfect if you plan on creating a focal point or even a very wintry scene for your card project. Now, this little snowman includes a cheerful snowman body. We have a classic top hat with a hat band, bow, scarf, buttons, eyes, a little carrot nose, smile, and even some rosy cheeks. Now, I decided to die cut all of these pieces using some beautiful cardstocks. This one here is the Snow White Velvet Luxury cardstock by Simon. I absolutely love this cardstock, and the texture on this is absolutely amazing. Now, this green color cardstock here is by Your Paper Insider, very similar to the Velvet Luxury cardstock by Simon, and I will be using these to create the snowman body and the bow scarf and the hat topper for our snowman. I also have some tiny little pieces of black cardstock and some pink cardstock for all of those additional little features. Off camera, I went ahead and die cut all of these little pieces, and then I like to store all of my tiny die cut pieces in this little funnel tray by Cat Scrappiness. It holds all of my pieces really well. Well, for the body of our snowman, I decided to cut out the piece using some white cardstock because the velvet cardstock is not as sturdy as our regular cardstock is. Then I went ahead and using some liquid glue, I adhered each and every part of this little snowman. I love that little slit on the hat, which right away pops up onto the snowman, giving it a very dimensional look. Now, each of these pieces layer absolutely effortlessly to create the happiest and cutest little snowman ever, which is ready to bring joy to your winter scenes, your Christmas cards, and even your holiday projects. Now, you could also create tags using this, and there are so many different ways you could use it. Like in our card today, this will be the only focal point for our card, but you could definitely create a beautiful winter scene. You could use little sequin mixes to add the buttons on the snowman, but since, well, this is December, I decided to use little die cut pieces of this absolutely gorgeous glitter cardstock for my buttons and take a look at how adorable this little snowman looks. And he's absolutely ready to go onto a card panel. I decided to keep my card really simple, so I have this very light blue cardstock here. Now, to get that snowy effect, you could either use splatters of white ink or some kind of silver ink, but I decided to use the Jolly Christmas stamp set and I added some little snowflakes from this stamp set onto our background. You could also use some snowflake stencils or even snowflake 3D embossing folders on your background panel. But since our focus today was on that die cut focal point, I decided to keep my background very simple. Here you'll see me using the Simon Says Positively Saturated ink in the shade Morning, which is slightly darker than our panel here. Now, the Jolly Christmas stamp set was part of the festive fund released by Simon's Stamp. I did create a project using the stamp set. I will leave a link to that in the description box below. To stamp my sentiment, I used the CZ Designs Warmest Wishes stamp set and I stamped the sentiment which says sending cozy hugs using the Simon's Stamp Positively Saturated ink in the shade Twilight. Now, if you're looking to create a beautiful Scandinavian or folk art style winter or holiday themed project, this stamp set would be absolutely perfect for you. Now, once our focal point and sentiment is ready, I decided to go ahead and adhere this onto a side folding A2 size note card. Now, since this die cut snowman is our focal point, I decided to pop him up, and using some foam tape, I adhered this onto the center of our panel. Well, to cut my sentiment strip, I used the Feature Sentiment die by Altenew, and I popped that up using some thin strips of foam tape. You could also create a snowbank using some white glitter cardstock to add a base for the snowman, but I decided to keep it really simple. Now, I like to use my Simon Says Stamp T-square ruler to make sure that my sentiment is properly aligned onto the card front. Now, once all of that was done, I went ahead and adhered this panel onto a side folding A2 size note card using some liquid glue. I really like the white border showing up here. Now, at this point, I think I should have called this card done, but then I decided to use some glitter. Well, even though I told that I would want to have a very clean and simple card, what's a winter card without some glitter? And well, this cute little snowman definitely deserves a lot of sparkle. To add a touch of sparkle, I am using the Prism Positively Dazzling Gems and using my Barely Arts glue. I adhered this around my snowman and my sentiment strip. Now, whenever I add any kind of sequin mix or gemstones or embellishments, I like to keep the odd numbers going. Let me know what you think about it. Now, here's a look at our finished card. I absolutely love how this turned out, especially that velvet on our snowman. Well, you cannot see that on camera here, but it is absolutely beautiful. All the supplies that I used to create this card will be linked down in the description box below. Now, all of these links are affiliate links, which means that if you shop using one of my links, I get a small commission at no cost to you guys. Also, don't forget to check out the DieCember release at Simon's Stamp. I will have a link to that too in the description box below. Thank you again for joining me today. Until next time, stay safe.